Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and it's Brick Haul O'Clock! With two lovely packages from bricklink.com. Okay, let's get into these, and I'm going to do the smaller one first, which is the older of the two, in that I made it right after those Dungeons and Dragons minifigure series got released. Because, well, basically they were very hot and very current, and I wanted more of the kind of accessories that came with some of those sets, and it's just been sat as a package waiting to be unwrapped since then. Less urgent pieces for urgent projects, I guess, but still really good stuff in here, and I can see some of those vital pieces straight away. Because, there were just a few things I thought, I've got to buy them immediately before the prices go mental. So basically, one of them was two more of the lovely dragon shields from the Dragonborn Paladin character, whose minimum purchase price is £9 already from, what is it, £3.50 for a new one? So, yeah, you can see the price is only going to go up, up, up. All the old sort of tournament nights where I've only got one shield, like the one that's bright yellowish orange with the crow on. I wouldn't mind two more of those, but just the shield now will set you back at least £10, and I'm not paying that. So anyway, I thought the time to strike is early. So I got two more of those. So when I have the third one, I'll have a whole contingent of knights with that shield for my joust scene that will probably come one day. Cool, so that is excellent to have those in the bank. And, well, you know me and Lego animals, especially birds. I've been dying for Lego to release loads more different types. And we've got this lovely brown bird with an orangey beak and some markings on his head that came with the halfling druid. So I've got one from him. And they're now in the botanical garden set, actually, 21353. I didn't know that at this point when I ordered these, but anyway, that's still only one more, I think. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more of these birds, so we can have a little flock of them somewhere and a couple of individual ones somewhere else. But they're just pretty as anything. In fact, they might be the best little bird yet, just because of that head marking as well. They are really sweet. You can imagine them twittering to each other in a tree. I like it a lot, so I definitely don't regret buying those. Cool, other stuff. I think that was the main reason for the order, actually. I needed some green tiles put around the base of my You Are Here kind of map setups. I've done one outside the station. I'm going to have about 4 or 5 of those dotted around my city, all spread out. And then, now these curved ones, they might be for two things, but definitely one of them is for Project Grey, Project Old Grey, as I've been calling it. So we've got sort of one loop there, one circle there, 2 circles there, 3 circles there. So we've got 4 circles of tiles. What could it be for? Well, you can guess if you like in the comments section, but I doubt you'll get it. Well, you might do. Some of you are very astute at times. Other things that I have to buy while I'm there, if I see them. Yes, I am still collecting the foot soldiers from the Teenage Mutant Ninja sets. They're in 6 sets, including 79102, Stealth Shell in Pursuit from 2013, with the fish face character there. Not the best set, I don't think, but this guy is certainly the best. He looks great. Yeah, no scratching or any problems with him. Yeah, my army for these is quite big. It might be my biggest army actually. I should piece them all together and see how many exactly I've got, but it's over 30, I would say. It might be embarrassingly bigger than that, but anyway. A long-held subscriber request, which I won't tell you what it is using a lot of brown pieces, and I had quite a few, not the turntables, but these brown pieces are for it. So that will be coming, well, at some point. It's train based, so I know we OD'd on trains earlier in the year, so, or rather last year, so I'm not in a hurry to do it, but I'm getting the pieces for it. When I made this order, that was what was forefront of my mind, so that's for them. Don't know about that. These turntable pieces, the big 4x4 ones that I ran out of, I'm going to need a few for another interesting project, which looks really good, but I've got no idea how to integrate it with my city. Yeah, I can't go into any more detail. It basically, as I've designed it, needs to go in the corner of a room. And in the old Lego room, I had, well, several corners, well, 4 essentially in the room, because I built up to all the corners. But in a new Lego room, it's kind of open-fronted. So we've only got, well, I suppose we've still got 3, but one's got the space tower in already. I still fancy doing old Far Corner Farm in the other. And the third one's got the harbour in it. So anyway, I'll probably show that on the channel and not place it in a city and say, what am I going to do with this? And ask for clues. Right. Ah, here's another thing from the D&D. Yes, so this was a third thing I wanted. I don't really need the little creature that comes with him, the little walking brain, but I did want a second mind flare for as cheaply as possible, just to go with the other one, really, because I figure where you see one mind flare, you're bound to see another, aren't you? So having 2 of them together sort of in cahoots as some sort of coven of mind flares, I thought would be a much better scene. One either side of a poor innocent, victim in between them that they're doing whatever they do to, well, with the walking brain, presumably. So that is him. Put him near the front as well. Oh, he's just killed a bird. Nasty fella. Right, then we've got some little 1x1s in tan. I needed just to decorate my stanchions of my monorail. I think I plundered them from somewhere else in the end, but I can put them back where I plundered them from. You see, it was Project Old Grey I was thinking about, because here, I think, maybe the final Old Grey pieces for Project Old Grey. It got to the scale, I think I've mentioned this before, that it was sort of so big, then bigger, then bigger, then bigger, basically. It's got so big now, I've got no idea how many of these pieces I need, other than a lot. So I think I've just started buying them, because they're usually about 3p or 5p or something, because they aren't that useful for most people. So I've pretty much got the UK supply of them now, I think, and I hopefully should have enough. A red paddle. That is quite rare, believe it or not. And it's just something I wanted to brighten up my build over here. So that's a big clue as to what that might be, I suppose. Some lovely trans green plant pieces. They're kind of the flames, but I think they're plants for under the sea. They were keenly prized. Sometimes they're like £1 each. You think, no way. Sometimes they're much cheaper and you think, yup, yes please. So they're nice. Put them there, they're pretty. Pair of wings in dark blue. Therefore an interesting scene as well. Another subscribe suggestion actually. So when I unveil that and that, I'll have to give you a bedoing for the people that suggested them. I do like getting your suggestions. There are too many, so don't get offended if I don't do yours, because I get dozens of suggestions and I can't do them all. This is an interesting piece from Ninjago sets. It's kind of a, I don't know, thing that goes on a wall high up. You can put sort of other pieces in here to make it augmented, and then have any sort of round 2x2 tile in here as a big sort of logo. So I thought maybe for sort of Shredder's base or something, might have something there, or maybe just something in Ninjago City when I get to that. But it's an interesting piece. I just really liked it. So if you've got Ninjago sets, you're probably quite familiar with that, but it's brand new to me. Now this might give you another and probably final fatal clue for this build at the back. It's loads, oh golly, I can't keep hold of them, loads and loads of barrels. So that is for that build. So with a paddle and loads of barrels, you can probably guess that now, but anyway, not to worry. There we go, let's put these at the front, that'll be nice and pretty. I'll probably knock everything over before I get to the final shot, but we can but try. And then some other really interesting, really interesting and coveted pieces. I'm going to start with the interesting and then look at coveted last. Right, so we've got the Lego Sapiens sticker, 1x2 tile, that came in the 21320 Dinosaur Fossils set of 2019, which I've since been sent actually by a subscriber. So this is my second one of these now, but at the time I desperately wanted this, because all you've got to do with this little sign is to add a skeleton, and you've got a perfect sort of exhibit for a museum or something like that of, prehistoric man or whatever it might be. Or it could just be a sort of Indiana Jones type character with a cowboy hat like in that set. Or something like, I don't know, Chester Copperpot, if you get that reference from the movies. Another body with a certain type of hat on or whatever. So yeah, a specimen of a skeleton needs a badge like that. So I'm glad to have that. I'm sure I can use it twice. Oh, go on. I can't resist. I've finally got... Bam, bam, bam. One of my Grail kind of wanted list items. It is the screen from the arcade machine in the Ghostbusters Firehouse HQ set 75827 from 2016. which will be going into my arcade collection. It's just got the Stay Puft Marshmallow guy, very pixelated with the word play underneath, and it looks in great condition, which is good, because this is practically impossible to get, because who buys that Ghostbusters set and breaks it up? Not many people. And this is where it's all ready to go. I've already got the joystick, and that's from something else, but I think it's very appropriate as a nice topper. And yep, that was worth it. Oh, wow. That is brilliant. So, yeah, I'm doing an arcade building. I've got most of the pieces for it. I've got orders for the rest. And this will be one of the very, 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 very many machines that will be going in it. I think I'm up to about, I don't think 20 is imprudent to say, number of machines, probably more. It's going to be a very silly build, but, Robin Hood bricks, we're here for the silly. So, as I think you guys are as well. So that's very cool. So that is lovely. I've wanted that ever since it got released, but they were always like, oh yeah, £5. What, for a window pane? And this was the first cheap one I've ever seen. So there we go. And I say relatively cheap. There's a building minifigure piece here, which is kind of the cat hat in black, which has been on things like Cheetah in different colours, and a couple of other people, that sort of tiger costume kid or something like that. Not the actual full-size cat series minifigure, because that had a much bigger hat. So yeah, apparently this is from the Builder minifigure wall. I didn't have it. I have no idea how to use it, but, wasn't that bad. And if I don't have it, I kind of feel I have to have it. So we've got some pirate torsos as well. What could they be for? What could I need pirates for? What do you think? Can anyone think what I might need pirates for? Anyway, I've got 3 torsos. This lovely blue one with a lovely ornate jacket, actually, and a stripy top underneath, who was unique to the set 10679, Pirate Treasure Hunt from 2015, where he's menaced by a grey shark as a beastie. But that is a very nice top. I like that. Cool. Then we have a green pirate torso. Let's get the arms straight. With a sort of, what do they call them? Bandolier across the over the shoulder and so on. But nice and stripy and ragged at the edges. That came in 5 sets, including 6240, Kraken Attackin', which has got to be my favourite set name for a long while. Kraken Attackin' from 2009. Fun name. And there's the dark red tentacled beastie to contend with. So that's very good as well. And a third pirate torso. Because, the legs are just legs, aren't they? And you can put any... I've probably got loads of heads with eye patches on and stuff like that. So it's the torsos I've really needed. And this is kind of a Dennis the Menace or Minnie the Minx type black and red striped top with a belt, vest, because you want to keep cool when you're doing your pirating. And this came in 3 sets, including 70410, Soldiers Outpost from 2015, where he's got to contend with a black tentacled beast. So yeah, maybe that Kraken is attacking as well. So yeah, this is a killer haul so far. And then this torso, which is a castle one. And this has also been on my wanted list for ages and is very hard to get. And it is beautiful. So it is the torso from a Lion King. No, not that one. A castle one, not a actual lion. And it's got these sort of heavy chains on and this ermine sort of fur on and stuff. And he's also got this cross on the front. Now, I don't think it's a Christian cross, but it kind of looks a bit like a Christian cross. So I thought, given that the old world will be set in kind of a fantasy land with wizards and stuff, but we should still have a religious leader, even though I try and keep religion out of my main city. So I'd have some sort of bishop, maybe holding a sort of bishop's hook or crook or whatever they call those. And I thought that would be a really good person to have in the king's court as an advisor. So I thought that was very, very cool. Quite hard to get. In 3 sets, including 10223, Kingdom's Joust from 2012, which has got to be a massively popular set. So that's probably why it's so hard to get your hold of. So he will be in Pride of Place. Pride of Place? Lion King? Yeah? Pun intended. Cool. Right. So that was a very, very good first package. We secured the birds and the shields. We've got 2 Grail pieces for me, another foot soldier, loads of pirate pieces, loads of pieces for some build that you can't possibly guess what it's for, final pieces for Project Grey, and, wow, a couple of other bits and bobs that I needed at the time. Right, let's get into this other one, which needs hacking into. Ugh. Which is, I think, a bit more boring. Can't remember. Ooh, I've been given some strawberry pencils as a free gift. What are they? Sweets. They look disgusting. Yeah, they may be going in the bin, but thank you for the thought. Now, this is all new, so that's good. Box over the head. And a lot of this was crazy cheap. I think some of it I really desperately wanted, and then some of it they were just kind of giving away, like a penny a piece. And you think, well, if you really don't want it that much, I'm glad to take it. So, yeah, I filled my boots with all sorts of stuff that I could use in the future that I didn't necessarily have a great plan for. So I'm going to try and keep these separate since they're all brand new and won't need washing. So we've got an absolute mound of Palisade bricks in dark bluish grey. Look at that. I think they were about £1.50 each or something. Well, I'm not going to turn my nose up at that. Look at that. Brilliant for rock faces. You just want a bit more detail in a rock face. Just use that instead of a normal 1x2. Half the price. And even more texture. 1x1x3 bricks in light grey. They're also good for rock faces, especially when you're using burp pieces, because they kind of easily fill up a little bit of the kind of gaps in between them. They sort of are quite regular. So if you just sort of stick one of those in one of the verticals of the gaps, it really changes the shape of them very quickly and very effectively. I'll move that as well over. Let me put that here. I'm trying to compose my perfect thumbnail at the same time as opening all these things. It's probably all going to get knocked over. Then we've got 1x2 plates in grey. Vital, if boring. Lovely. And 1x1s, 1x3s, 2x2s, wedge plates. You see, all pretty normal bricks that I go through at a rate of knots and occasionally find myself having run out of. And then I'm like, oh, nightmare, I've run out of them. Whoever sort of remembers to buy, very common pieces like that. So occasionally topping up your supply from a store like this is vital. So we've got some 1x12 plates, 1x2 plates, ones with clips on, and more wedge plates. All really useful, usable pieces for the new heap over here. Especially because I'm going to be doing rock faces, not just on the mine we've started, but under that entire strip of undersea, and then on the entire strip of underground, underneath the seabed, on the front fascia of my Lego room. So, yeah, I'm going to go through a ton of this stuff eventually. So I can't overbuy, in my opinion. 2x2s, oh, I told you I'd knock stuff over, in dark bluish grey. 2x3s. Wow. I'm going to have to sort all this out afterwards. Maybe I should have kept them in their bags. 2x6s. I think I have run out of those. I think I needed one of those the other day. Only a few of those, sadly. Some supporting arches in a disgusting purple colour, which are just useful for, holding up bits of scenery or something like that when they're going to be covered. You can put the back of the mine build or something like that. Some of these kind of crown-shaped flower centres, whatever they might be, you can use these for water lilies. They're often used for, with a little sort of yellow flower on the inside. Very pretty indeed. So if I do a pond or a lake or something like that, they can certainly get involved. So they're very nice. Then more generic, we've got jumper plates in black, in gold, and a few sort of tooth pieces in gold and some plant pieces. Again, not vital by any stretch, but very consumable pieces and very cheap and new. I mean, I just don't understand it. But anyway, it's like they needed the space. Let's get all those out. Yeah, we'll make a right mess over here. I think some of these pieces are probably needed. I think these inverted curved slopes I wouldn't have bought unless they're for a specific project. I keep all of that on my Bricklink wanted list, so I can look at the comments and see what things are for. Like 2x2 plates in gold. I'm pretty sure they're for the, what's it called? Where you stand on something when you've won, podium for the race scene in the city, just to give it a bit of a gold stripe in it. Now here's some parts for specific projects. I've got these things that I just got a ton of in grey from a subscriber in orange for an upcoming build, which is pretty cool, which will actually be part of my front, you know, where I've got the marina, go towards the right, and the next sort of section coming along, there's going to be a really interesting bit which uses all the depth as well. So that is going to be super cool. So we'll be seeing parts of that over the next few weeks, I think. Dark grey. Oh, I remember what they're for. They're for a fish's mouth, would you believe? So there you go. Lots of different projects here. Yeah, more grabbers, stuff like that. Very colourful. And then 2 more bags. This one is very important. So this is why I chose this store. Because I wanted an absolute load of these half kind of 2x2 round bricks. So I think they're called 1x2 half cylinders. Yes, part number 68013. And I wanted loads of these to do something quite clever with, which I'm not going to tell you exactly what it's for because I want this sort of surprise, but you can build them up so it looks like a column of 2x2 round bricks. But not only have you got a hole down the middle for something, but also you can kind of build it around that something as opposed to having to thread something through it. So that is all the clues you're going to get. But I've got a load of these things. And when you buy them new, I think it's one of those pieces that's about 15p each or something. And you think, crikey, if the number I need, I'm going to have to take out a mortgage. But I searched for people who had them and then found somebody who had a load for 5p. So you're like, right, I'm coming to you, because by the time I've bought about 100 of them, then, well, that saving's £10. That pays for the postage. It pays for, well, all sorts of other things. And if you can get other cheap stuff while you're there, your quid's in. So that is the reason for these. So I think after this, I'll be able to experiment with these and try and build something which I think is seriously cool. And I think you'll think so too. Yes, I'm quite excited about that. More excited about that than I am that. Or even some of this. So anyway, and then the final thing. Oh, it's been quite quick today. Quite efficient. Whoa. Some more interesting pieces. So, talking of round bricks, I've got some more round bricks here, but these are the 1x1s, and these are glow in the dark. Now that's another piece that if you buy them new from Lego, fine, you can do, but they're about 60p each or something, and you think, crikey, 60p for one. So I've got them on my list, and just like if they're ever under, say, 15p or something like that, I'll buy them. So I usually use the glow-in-the-dark minifigure head type pieces, trying to find one to point out, yeah, like Robin's head, as my street lamps instead of the clear ones you get on things like the modular sets. But for different lamps that are just hanging off walls or something like that, it's on a brick bank or something like that, I'm going to use these ones as well. So just got variety, because I want to turn off the lights and have my whole Lego city have certain bits lit up all over it, which sadly doesn't transfer to the camera at all well. Maybe I need a really, really expensive camera to be able to do that, but it just doesn't like it at all. Doesn't know what to focus on. Goes a bit crazy. But in real life, I can tell you, it looks absolutely great. So I'm sticking with it, even if you can't enjoy the same thing, sadly. So I'll balance those up there. Oh, we got minifigures, but they are in pieces. I'm going to have to guess how they went. I think that is with the yellow head and the side hair. We'll see if I got this right. So this is a brand new minifigure, which I just like the parts of. I like this sort of one-sided lady hairstyle. Very bold, with the Mustang Dark Horse shirt on. And that's because this comes from the Ford Mustang Dark Horse 76920 from 2024, which I don't know anything about. I imagine it's called Dark Horse because it's really super fast, but it looks completely boring, because that just looks like a car to me. But you tell me in the comment section. Anyway, the driver has some interesting parts. I like that. Probably be somebody who can watch the motor racing going on in Brick Nottingham, I think, almost unchanged. So I like her. Let's give her a wave. Hello. Just balanced, right? And then the other one has got midi legs, a little skirt. And I bought this for the parts as well, because I really like the sort of striped t-shirt with the zip top. And then we've got a dark blue scarf, which I'm going to put on backwards so we can see the torso better. And then this face, well, it doesn't really matter which side because I'm not going to keep it, given it's not yellow skin tone. And that is a very nice minifigure called Cho Chang from 76430, the Hogwarts Castle Owlery, for all your owl needs, from 2024. So yeah, just like that. It was keenly priced, so I thought, go on then, I'll take it. So we'll have her waving as well. Put her over there. Lovely, lovely. Couple of rock pieces in dark tan. They're pretty cool, aren't they? Might use those around the mine, actually. This is interesting to me. You might have had this loads of time if you're a Ninjago collector, but I've never had it before. It's called a lower jaw with fangs, and you kind of wear it like you would your bow tie or something. And that comes on 7 sets, usually on the characters of Bone Hunter or Bone Knight in Ninjago core sets, including 71785, Jay's Titan Mech from 2023. Yes, and I like that set. That looks pretty cool. I love the sort of head thing, the sort of made out of the lift arms coming out the back of the head. It's kind of like a sort of ammo belt feeder type thing, but it looks very impressive, I must say. So yeah, that looks really good. So I don't know where I'm going to use this. It's in spring green, not glow in the dark. I just thought I should own one. Maybe a pirate could have it. I don't know. Ideas for that. Not that it's crazy important, but it was just there. So yeah, I bought it. Then I've got 2 of these energy pieces, but a different one. It's kind of got a Technic connector. Maybe it comes out the back of a sort of jet craft or something like that, or a flyer, or I don't know, a person. It came in a few sets, including 76289, Thor versus Surtur from 2024, which is definitely not copying a Balrog at all, obviously. But I'll tell you what I do like about that set. It's the fact they've attached this to Thor's axe, which I never would have thought of. I think that's a really good idea, just for its sort of shockwave effect. Yeah, so maybe I should put a weapon through the hole and have that as, energy crackling off the blade or something. You could even have both if you were so inclined. But it looks pretty good. I think you could have, wizards attacking, sort of, one on one side, one on the other, sort of doing that. Maybe you'd want different coloured ones if you were doing that, though. You can get it in a few different colours. So yeah, that's another new piece to me. Probably familiar to you if you're a Marvel guy. But yeah, I like those. They're nice. So we'll put those there. Will they show up there? Where will they show up? Yeah, we'll try and do that. This is the sort of thoughts I always have. We're trying to create a thumbnail while I'm going. But that looks pretty, doesn't it? All we need is basically these guys waving and Robin in the middle, and we're pretty much there, aren't we? Cool. So, yeah, a wonderful haul. Quite a lot of bulk in the end, but I think mainly the key pieces were the ones I mentioned for the first package, but the second package also had its highlights with these minifigure parts and these vital white half-cylinder round things. Yes, that's what I'm going to start playing with straight away. So, very good haul, and not much to wash either, which is very good indeed. So, yeah, brilliant. Awesome haul. Yeah, look at that framing. Almost all arranged whilst I was opening the packages. I must be a professional. Well, I suppose I should be by now, given this is haul 222, would you believe? I mean, that is absolutely crazy. When I started out, I thought, well, might get to a 50, maybe 100, but 222, a sign that I might have too much Lego. No, you can't have too much Lego, Robin. Anyway, yeah, great haul. These are the highlights, I think, the 2 Grail pieces, and the low light is probably the strawberry pencils, just because everything else was so awesome, I think. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome brick hauls. And if you want to see all of these pieces in all of those projects I mentioned and didn't mention, but hinted towards, then why not subscribe to the main Robin Hood Bricks channel? That would be a great idea. And if you value these channels, there are many ways in which you can support them. Do check out the links in the description below. And next week on this channel, we'll be having another brick haul, rather unsurprisingly. And on the main channel on Monday, we'll be doing part 2 of our mine build, I think, because, yeah, part 1 was quite well received and people are keen to see it finished. It's looking very good already, I must say. So, yeah, we'll get on with that. So, until all of that, see you! Can anyone lend me £1? I want to have a go on Ghostbusters. Dun, 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 dun. Who are you going to call?